Hello everyone, welcome to GAN's ASP.NET C# tutorial. In this video, we will learn login registration and activate account page with the activation link in ASP.NET C#. So first we will create the page, the website, then we will create the pages. So one step by step we will go. So what is the process for creating the website? So open the Microsoft Visual Studio, click on file, go to the new, and there is an option is website. Click on that. So you will get a pop-up. On that left panel you select the template Visual C#. In the pop-up middle panel you can select the ASP.NET empty website, because I don't want any coding from the initial coding from that, so I'm taking the empty website. And in bottom part, if you want to change the name of your application, so you can change it there. There is a website and there is some number will come. So after clicking OK, so your website will be created. And part 2, there is a create the login and logout, activate account, registration page, and home page as per your requirement. Will create that. And for creating the pages, this is the process. Right click on the solution explorer. In video we'll see that, and create website name, and go to the add new item, then left panel select Visual C#, because we are going to code with the Visual C#. Middle panel we will just select the web form, and there is the option to add new item, and at last we just click on OK. It will be created. So with the same process we will create the other required pages for this video. Okay. So let me open the Visual Studio. This is my Visual Studio C#, and first I have to create the website. So go to the file, new, and there is a option is website. So click on that. You will get a in left side select of the Visual C#, and in middle panel I'm just creating the empty website. And if you want to change the name of the website, so change it here. Login register it. I'm given the name of my application is login register activate account. Click on OK. So creating project. So my project is created with the empty site. So there is no any pages is there, only web config is there. Web config is the configuration file for application. So this application, all the configuration will write the web config. Before going to creating the pages, we should create the database where we will just insert the data and do the activation part. So I'm going to my SQL Server Management Studio. This is my SQL Server Management Studio, and just connect with the Object Explorer. Click on the Object Explorer. We'll get a pop-up. Connect to the server. In server type, just select the database engine. In server name, give the name or local host or computer name or 127.0.0.1, and other you can put it in dot also. Or if you want to select the server name, then go to the just drop down and there's a browse for more. Click on that database engine, expand that, you will get your server names. So I'm creating with the Chirag API. Just click on that. And authentication mode, there is two types of authentication mode in SQL Server: Windows authentication and server admin authentication. So I'm selecting the server admin. Just give the password for the server admin and click on connect. So my database is connected. So expand the database. There is some databases for the testing databases are there. So right click on the database and add a new database. I'm giving the name of the database same as my application name. That will be easier to find which database connected to which application. So you can give as per your requirement, database name, and already in SQL Server tutorial I already discussed about what is the logical type, these things, all the options and file groups. So now my part is creating the database. So login, register, activate account, my database name. So I created. So let me create the table for the user information. So go to the table, there is no tables are available there. So right click on the table, go to the new and click on table. So here we can design the table. So I'm giving the user ID integer type, first underscore name, where last underscore name, numerical variable character type, and there is a password, then code. I'll generate a random code here, and just I'm adding on flag there. So I want to create now, going to create now this one, user ID as a primary key. Right click on that, I think just select on set primary key, and I'm inserting the automatic auto increment value for the user ID. So right click on that, go to the properties, there is an option identity specifier, and just expand that from here, and each identity it's create yes, and control S, you will get a pop-up for the name for the table. Enter the name for the table. So I'm going to enter the user. So I'm giving the name for the table is user info. So right click on table, refresh. Yeah, I got the table. So right click, and I'm seeing then any data in the table because we created, so we don't have any data. So these are the columns, and the database name, this is table name. So now go to the Visual Studio. So let me decide what are the important pages you require for this demo. So first create the home page. Add new item. So again I'm repeating that. Just right click on the your website name, project name, and go to the add and add new item. Click on website and hit home page. It will take few seconds to create the page. Created. So just do the same thing. Right click on page name, add new item. I'm going to create the login register activate count, and last page I'm going to create for now, that is it, logout. So let me go through one by one. First let me create the registration page. So while I'm creating, I already selected the place code in separate file. So all the pages have the cs page, .cs page. Okay, so registration page, first I'll create the text boxes for registration. So let me get the one h1 registration. Reactor I'm not using any design bootstrap and any CSS for that. So now I'm going through the basic design, and only we are focusing here to do the coding. So registration, and I need one label. I'm giving the name LBL error message. So whatever the error will come, I'll display in green box this level. Now next, one more label and one more text box. So this label, I'll just display the text first. First name, and giving the name for the text box is first name. And one more value I'm giving placeholder. Your first. Let me run the page. Okay, sorry, I'm writing that. Okay, let me remove the folder from here. Registration. Okay. So what I have to write that in registration page, I'm giving the heading tag for the registration. I'm writing there. Then one label I'm taking there is a label ID is LBL error message, so I will display all the error here. And one more label for the, I'm just displaying the first name, and there is a text box. I'm giving the ID name is equal to first name. Just concentrate on the ID name, because with the ID name only I'll just reflect the data. Right click on view in browser, or you can run the application from there. Yeah. So my page is created. So there is a registration, first name, then this is a text box, and you are able to see there is a enter your first name. This is coming from the our placeholder. So that's why I given the placeholder. Select this, and I'm creating more pages. First name, last name, email, password. Enter your first name, enter your last name, text box ID. I'm giving the last name, this part is email. I'm giving the text box ID is email. Enter your email, and last one is password. Enter your password. Now let me take the button. Let me refresh the page. Yeah, first name, last name, email, password is created, and text box submit button is also created. But one more thing I have to add there, password should be invisible mode or something encrypted mode, or like that. Means whenever entering the password, it should not be visible what you are entering. For that I have to add one attribute, text mode is equal to password. Let me refresh. Now password is coming to dot. So my page is completed. Now next part, I have to insert this data to database. and you are wondering about the confirm password and password encryption, I'll go through the another video. So on that video I'll just create the password, confirm password and validations, all the parts I'll do on that. So here I'm just doing the insertion and email activate account. So next part is I'm going to create on click is equal to new line. So it will create automatic one function in register.spx.csv. So this function is created, and there is a two way to create the registration on click function. One more is that you go to the design, in SPX go to the design and double click on the button, so it will create the on click function. Now for the connection of connecting to the database we need something. So first we'll write the connection in web config. So let me write the web config configuration. Connection strings, add first attribute name. So name I am giving font string as per your requirement, as per your choice. You can give the name, that's not an issue. The next is connection string is equal to I'm giving the data source. Data source may be localhost, maybe IP, as per your requirement. It will change. Next is SQL catalog. This should be under your database name. So let me copy the database name. This is my database name. So let me copy that. Okay. And user ID, let's say I'm connected with the server admin. Then last is password is equal to my login password, my SQL Server database login password. So this one, and last item provider name is system dot data SQL. So just remember this is the connection string. If you want to connect with the multiple databases, so then you can call you can just copy the string and give the different name. Okay, so just give the head database in different, so you can connect with the multiple database also, that's not an issue. So now I'm connecting with the con string, and this is my data source localhost, this is my database name, and there is a user ID, and this is the password. Last item is password. So last I'm using the provider. This is the library calling. Now next, so in registration page I'll insert the data into the database. So what I'll do first, I'll check the data if database is exist or not in database, like whatever key you are writing the, just like a primary key is assuming that you're writing with the primary key. So for that we'll do the registration. Okay, so here universal I'll call the connection string. So connection string should be let me call the assembly library here using system data, using system data SQL client, using system data data system dot configuration. So these are the basic things we need. Here I'll write SQL connection on SQL connection. Here I'll write the configuration manager dot connection string. So dot connection string. So here will connection string name will come. So what is the connection string name? So go to the web config, as we given the connection string name, same name will reflect here because I am calling the database connection here. So first part is completed. Then I will write the code to insert the data into the database. So before that, if you want, then you can just check the data is available or not in my database. So one by one I'll do. So on dot open, just whenever you are connecting with the database, just open the database connection first, then second SQL command, check email. I'm writing one variable is equal to new SQL command. Write the code here. Select email from user info where email is equal to double quotes, single quotes, double quotes, then paste the answer here. And on I have to pass it. So I'm checking email, select email from user info. This is a table name where email is equal to whatever the email will insert into our text box. So this email word is coming from ID of the text box. So this is the ID of the text box. So from here this is coming. Next, so I have to pass the connection here with that. So I will use the SQL Data Reader for the reading the data. So read check email dot execute. So here I am using the SQL Data Reader. So provide the way to reading a forward only stream to row from the SQL Server database. Okay, and here I am using the execute reader. So it will just execute the previous command and give the data. So I got that. After that, I have to check read dot hedge row. So hedge row will indicate whether the SQL Data Reader contain one or more rows. If you keep the cursor here, you will get the description about that. So hedge row means this data will give you the any row, hedge row. Then what I will do, I'll just write the message to the user that email address it already exists because I want the email only once. So email address should be unique. So email, write the the message for the user. Email address is already exist. Please try. Okay. Different email address. If you want to change the color, dot for color equal to dot just closing the connection. In else part I'll write that if email address is not exist, then I'll send a email to the user. Before that I'll insert the data into the database. So for inserting the data into database, I'll write the code on dot close. First I'll close the previous, this one open connection, this open connection I close here. If you think this is closing here, if condition will satisfy, then only it will close here. If condition will not satisfy there, then it will come to the else part, and else part I'm closing that. Again I have to open on dot open, then go to the next. I'm creating one string. Valid name, insert user, well right, insert into user info. I'll write down the values here. So what are the column names? Let me copy that. What are the columns you want to add? Just add there. So these are my columns name. And right here. So my columns are completed. Then values. Again I'm passing. I'll write the parameter. Passing the parameter here. So I'll write the @ So this part is completed. Now I have to write the SQL command. SQL command. SQL command. So I'll pass the string and see carefully. So here what I'm doing, I'm passing the command in the same line. So whatever the query in the same line. Here I'm creating one string and passing the into the SQL command. So both the way I'm just showing you, so both the way that we can just pass the command. Okay. So next, here directly I'm passing the whatever the data is coming from the text box, but here I'm passing the @. So parameter I'm passing. So parameter I have to define here. So here I'll define insert cmd dot parameters dot add value with first name dot text. Here I'll write the @ value from the this part, this one. This value should be same as this box. So copy. Here I'll pass the last name, same as right side. Here I'm passing the password, email, rejective. Initially I will give the rejective 0. Here I will pass the activate account. I will create one random code and pass email, password. Just watch carefully. So what I'm writing, insert into user info, that is a table name, these are the columns, and these are the parameter values, and the parameter values should be equal to left values of the at this value. Okay, this completed. And here I will create the random code. Random new. I'm calling the random function, that my random to random dot next. So int random next minimum value max value. So return a random integer that is within the specified range. So you are able to see that. So return a non-negative random integer. Return a non-negative random integer or less than or specified the maximum. So whatever the random integer will come between this value, it will come. So now I got my random value. So string, given the name for that activation code is equal to my random dot string, converting it to English string. Sorry, activation code. Okay, now we don't have any error. So we created the random code, we passed the random code here. Now next part is what I'll do, I'll just execute this above command and insert the data to the database. So insert cmd dot execute non-query. So just execute the transaction SQL and statement against the connection, return the number of rows affected. So my insertion code is completed. Now let me move on to the email part. So for the sending the email, we need two more libraries. So let me add that. System Dotnet mail. Let me use that. Mail message new. So my object is mail. So I will just create the other things with that. Mail dot to add. So later I will go on with the remaining thing. Mail dot, let me write down the form will be there. Chitt. So mail to whom we are sending the mail. So this is my mail address. In this mail address we'll just send the mail. So I have to put that a new mail message, right? So mail message, I'll write the from where we are mail message we are sending. Mail address will just display on that. So mail address I'll giving the gans dot in subject. I'm giving so this subject will display on the mail. Next is I'm creating the mail now. So string mail body equal to so mail plus equal to I'll start writing the email body here, just appending the code. Hello, then I'll write the first name just like I'll pass, then just like it will be the hello Chirag, and there is semicolon colon is there, and next is click below in activate yeah, yeah. Now I have to create the URL. So creating the URL, I need some information over here. Right, I'll call the page name, then question mark, then I'll pass the activation code. Score code is equal to activation code, then plus and percent mail is equal to get the space, that will be quite good. So email So anchor tag is starting here, anchor tag is so I created the URL for activation link. So this for localhost, I'm writing my localhost detail here. If you are working with the domain, then you write the domain here, and activate account. This is my page. Here I will click, I will just write the code for the activation link, and this is activation code. I'm writing in the query string. So question mark, I'm passing the query string, activation code. There is a email I'm passing, and there is an option, click here to activate your account. Okay, next, yes, let me write that thank you, and some more message. We'll go to the separate video for the writing the email code. Okay. So this email body is created. Now next is mail dot body is equal to mail body. I'm passing the above whatever the appended code, so I'm passing that one into the mail body. And next, mail dot is html body html is equal to true. And next, I'm just writing the SMTP code. So SMTP let me get the SMTP detail. Okay, first let me write the code, then I'll SMTP client new SMTP client port equal to 7. I'm writing here. If your service allow, then you can write the 25 or 465. Both the code either are the also working with the SMTP port, and SMTP SSL equal to true. SMTP use default credential false. SMTP.host equal to, I'm going to use Gmail SMTP SMTP.gmail.com. SMTP dot credentials new system.net dot network credential. And I'll write the credentials for Gmail. So let me check my credentials. forgot the my SMTP. Let me find my SMTP. So in this part we have written the code for SMTP, SMTP code and SMTP credentials we need. So I'm searching that. So let me search that my SMTP detail. If I won't find, then I'll just get it from another way. Okay, I'm not able to find. So let me check. Yeah, I got the username and password. So SMTP detail. So now we have written the code and write some code. Successfully reached step. So I'm going to repeat again. So after on click on registration button, at first we are just checking with the code that email address already exists in our database or not. If exists, then we'll just send an error message to the user that email address already exists, please try with the different email address. Okay, if not exist, then I'm creating one random code for the activation code. So that will be random, that will be different from the all the user when they will register. And here I'm writing the insertion code, insert into the table name, and these are the columns I'm inserting, and these are the values where I'm inserting the code. So this all the codes I will just provide in my description. So here I'm writing the parameters, all the parameters I'm getting here, and then I'm just execute with non-query. So it will execute and it will return the number of rows are affected. Next, mail message. Mail message, for the sending the mail I need this one. So mail message, I'm just writing the mail message, mail is equal to that, and here I'm writing the email where to we are sending the mail. On from, I'm just writing the my email address, Gmail address, and subject I'm giving the thank you for registering with us. Here I'm creating the mail. This not too much good it's in view, but in later on videos we'll just create how to get a good format in mail. So next, so mail body, I'm just giving the whatever we created, I'm just assigning the value to that, and mail dot each body is equal to true. SMTP, here I'm using the SMTP client, or I'm using the Gmail SMTP. So before, just go through this code same to same. If you write the code, it will sure it will work, because we will see it will work or not. And before sending to the mail, you have to change some coding. So let me open the Gmail setting. So go to your Gmail, and just click on your name and go to your account setting. So in account setting, go to the security, and just remember that your two-step verification should be off. Okay, the two-step verification should be off. And one more is that less secure apps. Okay, okay, Google will automatically turn off if you are not being setting no because you allow basically. Okay, let me check. So this should be less equals app should be on. Let me check if mail is going or not. Save all the pages. Writing the code. Chirag. Let me submit. Okay. So we have a error with the min value and max value. So you are registered successfully. Please check your email address spam folder for the activation link. So let me open my Gmail address. Yeah, I got the mail. Okay. Thank you for registering with us. This is coming from the here. Thank you for registering with us. And next is I got from 𝐒𝐤�9.100. I'm just sending with the same mail address. That's not an issue. The user, whoever the registered, you will get a mail. And this is the subject I'm using by Gmail SMTP. And below code for the activation link. Let me open that. If I click, I'll get the blank page because I have not written any code on that. So come for the activation, and before that just check into the database what we are getting. So I got the first name, last name, email address, password. On password encryption, later on video you will see how to encrypt the password. And this is my activation code, is active is equal to 0. So before doing this part, just go to login and create the login page. First check if you are is active is equal to 0, then don't allow user to log in with inactive account. So I'll do that code. So let me do the coding. I'll just copy the same code button, everything. This is login page. I don't want first name, last name. I need the email. So login VPN I created. So just doing that. So let me open this page. Yeah, login page. There enter your email and password. Something. Okay, email and password, and I will submit. So how to create on click function here? So previous video we have written directly, and now we are going to through the design. So go to the design, double click on the submit. So we got the activation on click function here. Now call the assembly. So I'm copying the assembly from my registration page. I don't need, I'm not sending a mail to them. And this is my connection. I'm going to start writing the login code. So con dot open first I will open the connection. dot open, then user is equal to, we'll write portfolio, selecting the user, select first underscore name, email from user info. Okay, so where email is equal to single quotes, then inside the double quotes, and password is equal to single quote, age underscore active is equal to 1. Here I'll pass that email dot text to string. Here I'll pass the password dot to string. Next, SQL command. SQL command pass that and on. Okay. Now I'll use the SQL Data Reader, SQL Data Reader read equal to cmd dot reader. I'm going to read the data. Read. So I'm checking the data, is anything available, the same data or not. If read is working, then I'll just create the session. So session dot so look at this. So it's this way. I'm just calling the data, first name, email, and same way I'm inserting the data to the session, because if you want to use the 0 means array format, just this is in 0 position, this is 1 position, same way I just call the data. And last one dot close response dot redirect. I'm going to redirect this one into home page. In this first part, if everything matches, this will get the value. Then I'll just create the session. I'll just go to the home page. Next, if not matching, then I'll just reflect the error. So here I will write down account is not activated, so in login button, when we click on the login button, we'll just check connection open, connection. After connection open, then we'll select the first name, email, and from the table, and this is the where condition, and we just check with the SQL command, and after that we'll just create the session. If that is exist or not exist, then we'll just send an error message. Let me check. So I'm giving the correct email address and password. So your account is not activated or email is not registered with us. Okay. So first we have to activate our account. So this is, we got the mail, and one click we'll just activate our account. So for the activate account, I'm going to write the code. So go to the activate account. Let me write one error message code. If anything error will come, then we'll just display on this code. Let me get the assembly. Connection. Now on the page load only, we'll just write the code. So how it will work? So whenever you will just click on the activate account page from the your mail you got in the your Gmail, like this. So whenever you click, it will open into new page and it will go to the activate account. And then in the query string, whatever the variable we are passing, just like activation code and email, so we are passing. Later on videos, I'll just encrypt the email also. Now we are showing the email, but later on videos I'll just encrypt the email. So that makes it, if you want to encrypt, then you can encrypt the activation code also. So activate account, so whenever you will click on the page load only, I'll write the code. So first of all, I'll just write activation code equal to request dot query string activation code same way. I'll just write the email. We have in query string, we have a two variable, one activation code, another one is email. Let me see. Yeah, after question mark we are considering the query string. So this is my first and this one the email. So two variable are there. So one is activation code and another one is email. Next. Com dot open. I'm going to open the connection. Next, string check activation equal to user underscore ID user info, where I write the condition. So where email is equal to code equal to single quotes and double quotes. So I'll just pass that email here and division code. So I'm checking with the check activation. This email address is this email and activation code is there or not, and some more variable I will add, and activation code not equal to 0 and is active not equal to 1. So these are the condition will satisfy, then only we'll go to the next. So string SQL command SQL command SQL command. So I'll just pass the string to there on, and I'll write the SQL Data Reader read is equal to new, SQL Data check CMD dot execute if I'm also writing the else condition. So if read dot read function I'm calling, if anything data will read, then I'll just update the command. Okay, so here I'll write the update one else condition. First let me write. So else condition why should I tell to the people that your link why we have error? So your account has have error. So for that I'm just writing your link is expired. That's it. So that's enough for that. So now I'll just spawn dot closing the connection, then spawn dot open, and I'm opening connection. Here I'll write the code. String update account is equal to, I have to write the update code here. Update user info then set is underscore active is equal to 1, activation code is equal to 0. That's enough. age active is equal to 1, activation code is equal to 0, then where condition I'll write where email is equal to now let me write the SQL command SQL command equal to give name on your choice SQL command create SCC dot on. Now let me execute this query. cmd update dot execute non-query on the and now let me write the code green. Successfully account. Please log in to your account. So what I did here, just I read the query string variables, both the variables I read here, and I am writing down query for selecting the variable. If that is okay, then I am just updating the code. So age active is equal to 1, activation code is equal to 0, and if not, then I'm just saying the user to what link is expired message. So let me refresh the page. Yeah, your account is activated successfully. Please log into your account. Let me come to the your database. See, here is age active is equal to 0, activation code is equal to some code is there. So execute. Yeah, activation code is 0 now, age active is equal to 1. So now we can able to log in. Go to the login page. This is my login page. Let me refresh. Let me give the wrong password. So your account is activated or your email registered with the giving some error or giving the right password. So it's redirected to the home page. Means we are logged in. So let me come to the home page. Home page. Let me read the session here. So home page, I'll read the session. Before that, I have to create the logout page also. Let me check which page I will create first. So let me read the data from the session. So less than let me refresh the page. Yeah, so I am able to read the data from the session. So means that we are able to read the data. So I'm just first 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 the first name Chirag and email I'm getting. Now let me create the logout page. After logout, we'll see we can able to get or not. Okay. So let me get one href tag hyperlink get URL logout. So in logout page, this I'll write the code session.abandon session.clear response.detect login to PHP. Okay. So session run abandon. It abandon function is just cancel all the current session and it will clear all the keys and values from the session state collection. So here we in all the pages we can write multiple if else condition to that. So we're not writing that, we'll just go in description with the one by one when we create the pages. So we'll go that. So now this page is completed. So let me open the logout page, home page, and let me click on the logout. So I'm clicking the logout, it's redirected to the login. If I'll go to the home page again, home page, so what I'll get, I don't have the first name last name. So I'm only able to see the logout button. So means I'm already log out. Again I have to let me log in. So now see, we are able to see, means our session is working. So in this video we learn about the login, registration, activate account and logout pages and email activation link we got into our email address. So we got and we activated our account through the email address, email activation link. So hope this video will help. Thank you for watching.